We're on a mission to spread awareness about fire, water, and first aid education to inspire the next generation of first responders. So join us for the next half an hour together with some fun, inspiration, and kindness, and we'll try and learn something too. How are you this week, Leigh? Welcome aboard.
I am good, Maxie. We are back. It's
We
like
are
we've
back.
had a couple of guests. We had a couple of it's been like a couple of weeks. It's
Like from back in the day, we used to do a fresh one each week. Now we're a little bit more prepared and planned. We have guests, and
organised,
we
organised.
do a
Yeah.
few do a few podcasts in the future. It feels like we
Yeah.
haven't done a new one in weeks.
Missed it. Here
I
we
have
are.
missed it.
Look. Yeah,
There's so much to catch
exactly.
up on.
So much to catch up on. Tell the good people at podcast land what's been going on and happening and stuff. So
Yeah,
crazy time, crazy
crazy
time.
time.
So great Rob Mason last week.
Rob
Great,
Mason,
great
great chat,
podcast.
and
Exactly. You're back at
hopefully
work at the fire station.
I'm back at the work at the fire station. Had a good little holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Back on the beaches lifeguarding, and yeah, we've got some good news to share this week too. There's a lot going on in the Live Learn Survive space. So uh,
Always a busy time. So right, let's get straight into it then, Maxie. What's the quote for this week?
yeah, the quote is very simple, and I love it. Everyone smiles in the same language.
So needed. Like the world's like there's a
Yeah,
big heavy cloud across the world needs a big hug.
it does, and you will be touching on bits and pieces shortly, but it does need a big hug, and we all need to look after each other, and we need to spread as much kindness and positivity as we can
Yeah.
because you've done some traveling in your time. I've done some traveling, and the
Mm-hmm.
beauty of it is, you see someone that does not speak another language, language you speak, but you can
Yeah.
smile, and it's a universal language, the smile. And
And you know what? Very because we already had this quote in because we run it as our quote this week, and I got an email this morning that was I subscribed to a lady called Bronnie Ware who wrote an incredible book called The Five Regrets of the Dying, and her blog this morning was about smiling, and she said, "Try and feel miserable while you are smiling. You can't. The body does not allow it."
it doesn't. It doesn't. And it's just such a warming thing. Sometimes when people have a resting face, it might look like you're grumpy, or might look like you're having a bad day. But so obviously people can't help how they look. But
Yeah.
sometimes you do like a bit of a smile or a bit of a smirk, and you can just see someone's literally frown turn upside down,
Yeah,
and
they smile back. They can't help themselves. They smile back.
it
So
just brings
it
you joy.
said, she said, if she went on to say, if you give someone a smile, you not only get to feel better in yourself for that moment, but if the recipient is capable of returning your smile, you have gifted them with a lighter moment too.
Yeah, it's priceless. So it's a really
How
good
good.
quote. I'm glad you
Mm.
found it, Lee.
Yeah, good old Bronnie sharing that today as well. I thought we are in sync with Bronnie, and that is not a bad place to be. She's the guru on stuff like that. So
Good on you, Bron.
good on you, Bron. So what's next, Maxie? What do we got?
News. Good
Oh,
news.
news.
Yeah, there's plenty of news because it's been a couple of weeks since we've last done a live, when I say live chat, but a
Yeah, catch
recipe.
up on So drum roll, please. Jungle Edge.
Jungle Edge. So the last podcast we did, when it was just me and you, Lee, we're talking about the race. I was about to do the
Yeah,
race, but the race was 2 weeks ago,
yeah.
and it took us 16 hours and 42 something
No,
minutes.
16:46:26.
There you go, 16:46:26.
666 at the end.
There you go.
I'm saying nothing.
Yeah,
16:46:26.
there you go.
And I don't even know how I remembered that because I'm hopeless at numbers, but I remembered the 26 at the end. I thought that was very appropriate for you and Piers,
Yeah,
and like absolutely smashed it.
yeah. We were very happy with the result. We didn't expect to win back to
Hmm.
back 2 years in a row. But we felt good the whole way, considering we covered about 140 kilometres of the bush, the lake that we paddled on, and we did a bit of beach running as well.
Yep.
Between the 16 hours, covered a lot of ground, probably about 100 liters each leg,
Ooh.
which is quite a scene.
Ooh.
Piers explained it looked like a pack of cuttlefish that were on my calf at one stage.
Ooh.
But yeah, it was a great race. A couple of ups and downs, but that's normal in racing. But all in all, we pulled up okay. Our bodies pulled up okay. There was no big teething issues, and
Yep.
there was about 80 teams, about 200 and something people
Mm-hmm.
entered, and yeah, we're very happy to take out the win. So
Yeah, no, you did well, and the difference was the old checkpoint G, was it?
yes, we got
The
checkpoint G.
checkpoint that cost you all those leeches. A
Yes,
lot of the other teams looked at and thought, "You're having a laugh. We're not wading through there," but
sure.
you and Piers did.
We did, and it paid off. So we ended up getting an hour on our side, and
Yeah,
yeah, it was
got
a
you the
great
win.
race. Got us the win. So yeah, it was good.
Congratulations. Mm-mm.
Um,
So,
we just touched base before. We've had some great guests in the past couple of weeks, but we also got a couple of good guests coming up
oh,
over
we do.
to next month and a bit.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that.
Mm-hmm.
Leigh, what I've got here, you're off to the UK at the end of May.
I am. I am. I'm off to the UK at the end of May, so I'm not going to be like not working the whole of the time. I'm going to be like working some of the time, and I'll always be on my phone. But hot news from out of the UK. Got locked in a little catch up with our South Shields volunteer lifeguards, where we're ambassadors. So I'm going to be trekking through the motherland and catching up with all of them.
That's exciting.
I'm going to be meeting with a very excited Denise and Emily in Aberdeen, who now know that I'm heading to town, and we're going to be taking them some books. I've been in touch, but I'm waiting to hear back from our little mate Nico.
Yep.
See if I can drop some books off for his school for all his efforts last year. And most importantly, Maxie, I've got our people to talk to his people. I've put the word out to the man, Dennis.
Dennis the Menace. That would be.
Dennis the Menace.
You need to actually
So,
get me a little bit of Glen Green if you got room in that luggage of yours, because
look,
that was such a great tour around that distillery.
that was a day that I don't think either of you will forget the rest of our lives, that how welcome Dennis made. So I couldn't be passing by, the top of the street as it sort of was, without trying to at least say hello to Dennis. So and then one of our favourite we were just talking about future guests, so we had him on a few weeks ago, Mike Burton, Mr. Positive Messages. We are going to be doing a podcast, Mike and I together, with you across in Australia. So
It's going to be awesome.
there's going to be some fun stuff coming up too. So that'll be great. So
That'll be
not too, it can't be completely on holiday. That'd be
Nah,
not right,
but
would it?
it's a well deserved, and it's going to be nice. I know you and Andrew are hanging out to get up to Scotland and do a bit of travelling around, which would be awesome. And I'm
Yes.
sure we're going to hear a little bit more about it before and
Mhm.
obviously after when you get back. So
Exactly. So what else we got on the good news? Loads of
uh,
stuff.
fire video partially done. So the
Oh,
fire
yes.
video, the fire safety video,
Mhm.
it's the first of its kind. Obviously, with the rescue squad, we've done bits and pieces of fire videos, but this is an 8 to 10 minute video that's going to be used in schools and online education. So that's good. Working
Yep.
smoke alarms save lives. Coming into winter here in Australia,
Love it.
yeah, and lesson plan. So we went back to the drawing board last couple of weeks ago when I was up in Brisbane. I had a bit of homework to do to get a rough draft of a lesson plan around how we teach kids in schools.
Yep.
Focusing on 9 to 12-year-olds, boys and girls, about fire,
Excellent.
water, first aid, and resilience.
Love it.
That's pretty much nearly done.
Yeah. We've been having lots of meetings.
Lots of meetings. There's a
Mhm.
little bit of New South Wales interest for schools. People
Yep.
know, follow us for a while. We do a lot of stuff in Queensland. We've done a lot of
Mhm.
stuff around the world, but not much around Sydney or New South Wales. So that's a bit of interest there.
Yep.
I'm back in Brisbane, not next week, the week after.
You are.
and book 2
Yeah,
illustrations.
we've been moving some stuff around with the books, which is awesome.
Yeah, and that's the end of the good news
Yes.
and bits and pieces. Have you got a random act of kindness story, Lee, that you want to share? If
Um, no, I haven't this week, Maxie. I haven't got anything specific that I've dredged off the internet. I had a few, but when I looked and we saw we had so much good news, I
yeah,
thought we'll leave it as that. So,
well,
but yeah, we had some not so great news in Bondi. Very, very, very tragic
yeah,
event, which I know you were literally there the hour before and had left the Westfield Shopping Centre, and I think we put out a statement on behalf of the charity, because whilst we talk about kids surviving their worst day, and we actually talk about when we did our event in February, I talked about somebody stumbling into somebody's you know worst day, not thinking that something could be horrific as it unfolded down in the Westfield at Bondi. So,
it, it,
um,
it
you
was.
know,
It was terrible, and our hearts go out to the families and the people that have been impacted by this tragic event.
yes,
The statement that we released through our socials, obviously passing on our condolences, but it also reinstates what we have been doing and continue to build over the last 9 years, nearly 10
yeah,
years of working
yeah,
together,
yeah.
of educating kids, young adults, and adults about what to do on their worst possible day. And if it's either helping someone, helping yourself, it all kind of correlates into the one thing of help yourself and help others. And
Yeah,
it's something that's very tragic, but we are on a mission, and it's part of our legacy, you'd say, is to make sure that kids around, not just here in Australia, but around the world, have the equipment,
yeah,
the knowledge to be able to help and be okay in some very tough and stressful situations.
yeah. So I know I saw there was a paddle out at Bondi yesterday. There was the candlelit service at the beach. A few days ago, I saw the police officer lady was there. And I think the good news that came out of the hospital was it yesterday that the baby is out of hospital now.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
hopefully, absolutely dreadful for the families, and our thoughts go to all of them, and things like that bring out the best and the absolutely worst of humanity, but then the best of community at the same time. So yes, thoughts for everybody, and hopefully that baby just goes to go from strength to strength.
yeah, 100%. But yeah,
Absolutely. Hmm.
um, I don't necessarily, because obviously that's a very that's a tragic and unfortunate event. But we're going into our
We're going into our own unfortunate events.
our own unfortunate event. So a little bit of good news for this.
Well, you know what? From something so heavy, things are light-hearted that could
Right.
only happen to us.
Yes, exactly right. So I've got one here. Usually, the last couple of months I've been all right with the old unfortunate events, but
Oh, yeah. Mm,
as you do know, Lee,
yeah.
I do like to cook occasionally
Mm-hmm.
when I am at home and I've got a bit of time to cook.
Yeah.
And I did something that you did, I think, around was it Christmas or
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just looking at the notes. Yeah, that'd be me. I've done that. Mm-mm.
pretty much cooked everything that I could without using the oven,
Yeah.
and then thinking that the oven was on, but the oven was
Oh,
so yeah, it
so
was the oven.
takeaway, pizza delivery. What
Yeah,
happened?
it was no. We stuck with it, but we just kept watching. I've been watching a bit of Seinfeld lately, a bit of an old classic
Yeah.
Netflix, just to kind of kill a bit of time. And yeah, so I just put a couple more episodes of Seinfeld on just to kind of pass the time.
Wait for the oven to catch up.
Yeah, it wasn't good. And just when you think the last little bit, you think, all right, everything got to line up in time, right? You bring out the veggies, you bring out the rice, you bring out whatever you cook in the oven, all kind of comes together.
Yeah.
But the oven wasn't on.
Oh.
That's the main part. So anyway,
Yeah, exactly. You just like, oh,
bit of a laugh.
tragic.
I thought I'd
Tra-
share that one.
tragic. Well, mine really, I had like two this week. So, a lady ordered a swimsuit and left me her phone number because it was the style wasn't on the website and blah blah blah. You know, one thing and another. I've been ringing this lady to tell her the swimsuit's ready, and you know your swimsuit's ready. Can you call me back? She gave me the wrong number.
Ah,
Who have I been leaving messages on telling them my swimsuit's like some crazy person? And then yesterday, Maxie, I was making a cup of tea. And we have these things in Australia, like geckos. Well, we have them in Queensland. Do you have them in Sydney very often, geckos?
we have more
Not as...
humid, hotter parts of Australia.
Yeah, so we have like geckos that can be, what, probably, what's that, like, 10 centimetres long, something like that. Pulled my blind down. Gecko, sunbathing in the blind, fell off, fell on my hand, which made me jump an absolute mile. I'm like, you are being evicted. You are not living in my lounge. Come on, man. So here he was in the kitchen. I was like, and you know what's worse? I can't find him.
Oh, he's gone.
Can't find him. I've got my little, because I've got like, if anyone can see this on YouTube, I've got my Tupperware and the cardboard that I slined underneath because I don't want to kill him. Yeah. So then I have to like get him out to the door. But he's running wild in the kitchen, Maxie, and I do not like that.
Yeah, that's not ideal. That is unfortunate.
Yes.
Anyway, we do have some time for some good classic dad jokes.
Oh, right. Okay, come on. Let's go.
Okay, so just getting the music ready for this one because I'm going to have everyone in stitches, I think.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm going to hold my sides for the laughter.
Okay. Why are skeletons so calm?
I have no idea.
Because nothing gets under their skin.
That's very good, Maxie.
All right, I got one here.
Go on then.
Why does a duck have feathers?
Why does a duck have feathers? No idea, Maxie. Why?
To cover up his butt quack. Oh, that was a good one. That's a bit rude. It's good.
Anyway, I've got one for you, Maxie. My landlord said he needs to talk to me about my high heating bills.
High heating.
I told him my door is always open. And then there's another one here, Maxie. So don't you think it's incredible how many French words are now used in the English language?
Yeah.
There's hors d'oeuvres for starters.
They're good. I feel like this week's we're definitely going to get a little bit of a smile, a bit of a laugh.
I think they weren't bad, actually, considering. That's all right. Yeah, okay. Good
definitely had a couple of people do the old head shakes, but
we're exactly. All righty, so we've done that. So that's all of that bit done.
Job of the week.
Job of the week. What are you up to?
Well, yesterday was my first shift back.
Yes, Black Cloud. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so the Black Cloud's back. We had 5 car accidents.
Whoa.
2 of them were persons trapped where we had to cut them out of using our hydraulic tools, remove doors and the B-pillar and stuff like that. Big toolkit. Had a concern for welfare where an old lady had fallen on the floor. We had to go help break into the house and lift her up and help her. And then we had a medical access emergency where we did a really big job with the ambos where it was a bit of a prolonged incident. A lady had severe arthritis and gout and couldn't even be touched. She was in that much pain.
Oh, gosh.
So we had to come up with a rescue extrication plan out of a home for minimalising movement. So that was quite interesting, and it was good to kind of talk with the ambos and myself, Pierce, and Max. We come up with a good little extrication plan. The ambos were really involved in supporting our decision of how we'll do it, and it ran very smoothly, and it was good. Minimal movement, she wasn't screaming and yelling, which is good.
Yeah.
And then we had a flooding this morning. A lady just got a new water filter put in her home, and it burst at 3 o'clock this morning. So all through at home,
That's not ideal.
not ideal. So hello, Nella. But it's good that I'm back on shift again tomorrow. It's just
5 car accidents in a day, though, for one station. That, seriously, slow down, people. What's going on?
yeah, speed and some just people just doing silly stuff in the wrong areas. So a couple of lifeguard shifts as well.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I just got back from holidays, but I did a couple of big days on the beach. It's
Yep.
Bronte and Tema. People that are unaware that Bondi, Bronte, and Tema are open all year round. So
Yep.
we do lifeguard all year round. So yeah, it's been good. A couple of days on the beach, nothing too major. But the fire station's definitely black cloud.
So when's Bondi Rescue coming on? When's that going to be on the TV?
Chef just started. So I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here is just finished.
Yeah.
Started. And I think they're trying to find a time slot, either just before MasterChef, one of the weeknights.
Yeah.
I think they're going to move away from Friday because Friday you're competing against Friday night footy and all these other things, and not many people are at home on a Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
So they're looking at a midweek date.
Okay. I was going to say it's April. It can't be far away.
Yeah, May, June. So keep an eye out. People in Australia and also people overseas. I think season 17 or 18, whatever we're up to, will be on YouTube.
Yeah.
Soon.
Cool.
Probably one of the biggest seasons. I've spoken about this in the past. One of the more bigger seasons that we've done or had in the last few years. So yeah, good stuff.
Amazing. Good stuff. So, right, okay then. Tip of the week, Maxie.
Tip of the week.
What are we
doing? Tip of the week this week, Leigh. Something very simple: slips, trips, and falls. We'll talk about slippery surfaces around rivers, lakes, dams, creeks, rock walls. Break walls. Where's been on a rock. Slips, trips, and falls. Always look where you're going. If you're climbing or you're scurrying across rocks, make sure you always have 3 points of contact at all times. Wear appropriate shoes, and just be prepared that things are slippery and you could,
be careful. Be absolutely careful. So absolutely no problem at all. So yeah, did we just both get the same alert on our phones? We both looked at.
Yeah, we did. There's a meeting this week.
The business is still happening. I just saw you look away as like we both looked at our phone at the same time. Someone's having a meeting. Maxie, slips, trips, falls, such an important message. You just take you lose your concentration for a minute, you step on somewhere you shouldn't, and
it's not ideal.
All go south. So excellent tip, Maxie. So crazy facts. What have you got for us this week?
Well, I do have a couple of crazy facts here.
Share away, my friend.
Okay, so I've got 5 here. Ooh. Did you know the total length of the Great Wall of China, including all of its branches and sections, is estimated to be around 13,170 miles, brackets, 21,196 kilometers long.
21,000 kilometers. That
massive.
I had no idea it was that long.
I thought it was to keep the rabbits out, back in the day.
Yeah, nosy goring. Yeah.
Honestly, if you're thinking about how big and how long that is, from Sydney to Cairns is about 3,500 kilometres, and that's a long way. That's a 3 or 4 day drive.
7 of those.
It's 7 of those, and you got to think that's through mountains. That's up and down.
How many people would it take to build that?
Took several hundred years to build, and they build it in sections to keep different threats out, and they just keep adding on to it.
Interesting.
I think it was around I don't want to anyone historic out there, but it was definitely it was around 300-400 BC roughly to about 200 AD.
as I've said before, Maxie, no one's coming here for their
No.
fact checking of their whatever.
But
So
yeah, just leave it.
that's colossal. I had no idea it was that long. Great fact. What do
Uh,
we got next?
the Earth's core is as hot as the surface of the sun, reaching
Ooh,
temperatures over 5,500 degrees Celsius, which is 9,932 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty crazy.
that'll cut your snakes.
Um, okay, the Atacama Desert in Chile is one of the driest places on Earth, with some areas receiving less than 1 millimeter of rainfall per year. Considering Brisbane and Sydney get those big downpours,
Yeah,
1 millimeter.
a year. Whoa, that's dusty.
Yeah, and I've seen photos of this, but did you know the Pacific Ocean? So, as you know, the Earth's a sphere.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain part of the space station where, the space station going around doing its thing. For a certain time, if they look down on Earth and they see the Pacific Ocean,
Yeah.
looks like there's no real land.
Oh, so the way that the whole of the Earth looks like water.
The whole of the Earth looks like water. So the Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean on Earth, covering more than 60 million square miles and containing about half of the world's ocean's water.
That's insane, isn't it? I mean, I always think about the size of that when we, you and I have flown to Los Angeles and you leave the coast of Sydney on the east coast of Australia to get on the west coast of the US. And
Yeah,
it's a 14-hour flight. And the only thing, a few islands and Hawaii in between, it's
yeah,
like
it's wild. It's wild.
vast, unbelievable.
Anyway,
So,
there's a couple of big ones today.
there we go. So I've got a few facts now, a bit of history for you, Maxie. I know you love a bit of history. And today we're recording this on it's Tuesday. It's April the 23rd, which happens to be, if you're English, St George's Day.
Up the same.
So well, you're kind of different St George. Maybe is it the same? I don't know. Anyway, so St George's Day, things you might not know about St George. Didn't realise this would be appropriate for you. Forgot, Mr. Dragon.
Up the dragon.
In honour of St George's Day. Number one, don't you love the English? St George wasn't English. He was actually born in Cappadocia, which is modern day Turkey.
There you go.
So there you go. He wasn't actually English. He wasn't a knight either. So he was actually, they think he was more likely an officer in the Roman army. So he wasn't a knight. He was a martyr. So he was described as a martyr after he died for his Christian faith. You'll love this one. He never even visited England. How good's that?
How does that work?
Although St George never visited England, his reputation for virtue and holiness spread across Europe, and his feast day, April 23rd, was celebrated in England from the 9th century onwards. He became popular with English kings, and they had banners wearing the emblem of St George, a red cross on a white background, and Edward III, 1327 to 77, had a strong interest in the saint and owned a relic of his blood. Wow. Things you collect in those days, hey? The St George's Cross was not used to represent England until the reign of Henry VIII. So there you go. The dragon was added later.
Yeah.
We love a dragon. So the dragon, the story goes that St George rode into Selene, which is modern-day Libya, to free the city from a dragon who had a taste for humans. Sounds like Cogger, is it? Like where your footy team play? But it's a story which postdates the real George by several centuries. Images of the George the Dragon survive from the 9th century, 500 years after his death. And originally, these simply have been representations of battle between good and evil. The story was developed and popularised in the Middle Ages in a compendium of stories about saints' lives, the Golden Legend. So there you go. It's probably, is it about that far away that your team won as well? Yeah. Oh, sorry, Maxie.
2010.
Harshly behave.
We're going all right this year, the Dragon.
Going all right. I saw you got the flag out down at Bronte with Mario. Is Mario a Dragons fan?
Nah, it was Marianne Coops, yeah. But yeah, he's a
You
Parramatta supporter.
you were coercing the boys to
I
get on
was.
board with your flag. So there you go. Happy St George's Day, England. Yeah, he wasn't English and he'd never been. Fantastic, love it.
That is gold.
Don't don't let the myth get in the way of a good story, or the story get in the way of a good myth, whichever way around it is. So all good. So right, yes. What do we got next, Maxie?
Reflection. Yeah, we briefly spoke about it in the good news, but we just got our videos and our testimonials from the videographer on
We
our
did.
Hyatt Regency night for our Creating Little Superheroes event. Uh,
Yes.
so it's a great video, and it's just a reflection of how good of a night it was. You know, we loved it. It was a good turnout. You know, up to 20, was it 22 schools
Yeah.
that are going to get us visiting them over the next, to the
Yeah, lots of money raised. People still talking about it, saying what a great night it was. So yeah, very very proud of it, and I think the energy is completely lovely captured in that video. So fantastic.
jump on Live and Survive Instagram or Facebook on the YouTube, and you can see the minute 10 clip
Yeah,
of video. But we'll be adding testimonials and bits and pieces to the website, and
absolutely. And we got so many photos to go through. That's a job for me, and yeah, update our speakers page on the website and everything. So, but no, good night and good fun. So, yes, excellent. So,
uh,
playlist, Maxie, what do we got?
yeah, we're going back with Vance Joy again. He's a great
Mm-hmm.
artist. We've got a couple of Vance Joy songs in the Live and Survive playlist on Spotify, but it's I'm With
Yes,
You. It's a great song, great lyrics. Check it out. I'm With You, Vance Joy.
excellent, Maxie, in the playlist. Perfect.
And
And obviously, we can't play it because of the YouTube people.
yeah, copyright, no good.
We don't want smack wrists. No, no, no. So yeah, you just got to go and find the playlist and have a listen.
So,
So yeah, and then last thing, Maxi, rule for the rule book.
rule for the rule book
Mm.
is something, it's something that's a little bit deep, but I'll just play some music.
Yeah, I was going to say we got.
Yeah, I always have these real random thoughts of times, bits and pieces. And I kind of created this myself, really, but it probably might not make sense. But I'm happy to explain it. But the
It
rule,
makes sense to me, Maxi.
if you
I got it.
follow, if you follow and take small temptations, you'll lose big dreams. Make sure you stay focused. So, but basically, the world full of distractions, temptations, things to escape things, and basically stuff that you might enjoy doing, but subconsciously, in the long run, it could be damaging you financially. It could be damaging you with relationships, or yeah, like there's so much you could take from that. But if you follow and take small temptations, you will lose big dreams. Stay
Yes,
focused.
yes, yes,
A little bit
yes,
out there, a little bit deeper. But I think in this day and age, a lot of people are distracted. A lot of people want to switch off and run away from things.
yes,
If you just got to back yourself, stay focused. If something is done to impact you, whatever the reason, you
yeah,
you just need to just realize what your dream is or what you're working towards and get back on track.
absolutely.
It's okay to blow out here and there, but as long as you're aware of it, just stay focused.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's very similar to I think probably next time we'll write down Maxie. Well, I went to see Stephen Bartlett, the Diary of a CEO,
Yep.
and there was so much. I absolutely loved it. I could. He was on stage for 3 hours. I could have sat there for 3 days. And it's a very similar thing that he said. He said, "The fast way is the slow way." Because the slow way is the only way. And that's the same kind of thing. You can be tempted by a, get rich quick or a fast thing or whatever, but
No.
it'll take you off what the focus and the goal is.
Yep.
So and he was all about that. So Excellent, Maxie. I understood it. Great. All right.
Yeah.
I thought I know where he's going with this.
Yeah, it's good. I was just thinking about it the other day, so I thought I wanted to share it, and yeah, it's
Excellent.
towards the back end of the podcast, so it's been great.
Exactly. Well, yeah, good to catch up. Good to see everybody. It's lovely to get the comments that we do about the podcast. So it's really nice, and and it's lovely that people are liking them on YouTube as well, because
Yeah,
we've had a few comments that people actually like to watch. So
good
hi.
fun.
That's really nice too. So
So we
yeah.
have a guest for next Friday.
Mhm.
So we hope you enjoy that, and then the
Yeah.
week after I'll be up in Brisbane, and we've got a couple of guests, and we've got our own one that we'll
Yeah.
record film up in Brisbane. So
And then we might juggle it around a bit. Like we might do a few more of our own together and then save some of the guests when I may be in places where there's no Wi-Fi. So, rock and roll, Maxie.
guys,
Rock and
let's
roll.
rock and roll.
Okay, off to it. Another meeting. Guess where we're going soon?
We're off to
We're
Ireland.
going. We're off to Ireland. We're off to Dublin. We better get out of here. We only got 2 hours. All righty.
Very good.
Take care, everyone. Have a great week.
See ya.
Bye.